If you think about a uh, driver's licenses allow you to do things, right? They allow you to drive, right? They allow you to purchase, insurance. They allow you to go into a bar and get a drink if your age is correct. They really are a certificate identifying who you are. And anyone who looks at that certificate of identity then validates the credentials on it. They look and see if your signature matches, or they look to see if your picture matches. They have some ways of validating you with some biometrics. Well, when we look at that, though, one of the things to also validate is, does this look like a valid certificate, or does this look like, a teenager's trying to, buy cigarettes or buy liquor underage? So you're looking for the seal, the hologram, whatever marks are on there that indicate it came from a trusted authority. So when we work with our identity services engine, much of our device-based authentication is going to be driven through certificates, right? Instead of names and passwords or pre-shared keys, we like certificates. One of the things we like about certificates is that there's central management of them, and they can be handed out and revoked. And that there's this idea of families of trust, where we set up a certificate authority, which is a service that hands out certificates, and we say, I trust any certificates handed out by that authority. I don't have to trust the individual certificate. I trust the authority of all the certificates, just like you trust the Department of Motor Vehicles to hand out valid certificates of driving out in your state if you're in the United States. So here in the ISE, what we see is that whole certificate management process can be done through the Cisco ISE alone. It's a self-sufficient certificate authority engine. It'll hand out certificates for the various devices that need them for their credentials. Awesome. All right, so they receive that, therefore they're trusted, therefore we let them in. Life is good. It's a great way to manage this. But what's also cool is that the ISE can integrate in with the enterprise certificate authority that you may already have. You might have set up a Unix or Linux box or a Windows server box as a certificate authority in your enterprise, which then means it is already trusted by devices. It might be trusted by partner devices. You might already have all sorts of certificate relationships in place that allow for trust, which allows for access and management. So the Cisco ISE can integrate itself as a subordinate to the enterprise certificate authority and say, my certificates are essentially going to be handed out with the approval of the higher level authority that we're defining right there. Very cool. So it's there in the management console to manage those. And one of the great things is that you can manage the endpoints, the devices that are receiving these certificates, and their certificates. If you delete the account for an endpoint, it deletes the certificate associated with that as well. So very cool the way that is going to be centrally managed and controls that in each environment. So whether that's bring your own device and issuing certificates for those so that they can be trusted from now on, even though it's a personal device, it has a certificate, so I recognize it and I'm going to allow it to my network. A lot of great things we can do with certificate-based management. So certificate, ISE, integrated. It's already built in, already cooked in. You can have certificates and use those in your environment, even if you don't have anything else going on with certificates. In this day and age, I find that unlikely. Most of us have some aspect of certificate management that we perform. And so if you have your own in-house certificate authority, it's not done externally but internally, then you can slip yours in as a subordinate authority underneath that root authority. Therefore, all the trust that you already have, Cisco can just piggyback on top of that, and life is good.